Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday evening for you, Sunday morning for us. My name is Gayle, Longhurst, National Vice President and obviously an independent consultant with Arbonne. And here we are for your monthly region training. And this is the first time that we've all got together. So we've got Regional Vice President Lindsay and Bryan saying hi.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
And then what? Regional Vice President Aminah Gianfrancesco, exactly the same, saying hi.
Good evening, kia ora.
And so we're going to go through a couple of bits of housekeeping first, and then we thought we'd do 5-10 minutes each on training for you, because there's nothing like being together to get energy up. And we know that you're all working absolutely amazingly and being leaders and pioneers by yourselves for some time now, and we just thought the collaboration would be brilliant, from ourselves as leaders in the UK, and then for yourselves as leaders in New Zealand and Australia. So, hello March. February was a great month. February was a month that seemed to start halfway through the month, which is something I'll be talking about. But ended up being a strong month, so congratulations to everyone so far for last month. In the UK now, I don't have access to New Zealand information, so I don't know about regional vice presidents in qualification, but these are in the UK, and they're both from Nina Alexander, National Vice President from her nation. So we had a new RVP, Susie Boven, and new RVP Qual. Now, does anyone get access to the information where you are to be able to change things in the future?
We only hear about it when it's done. So usually it gets posted up on the New Zealand Connect, and we hear about it there.
And when is that?
Literally in the next couple of days. If there is information like that, then we'll see it there. Otherwise, the other place I always check is when it comes through halfway through the month to see who has been promoted. So we get the general email that comes through from Arbonne HQ just saying, see the promotions for this month.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can find out any differently. So we have do you have Mother's Day? We have Mother's Day.
Yes, but our Mother's Day is on a different date.
Okay, well, we have this set, Mother's Day set, which naturally is that while supplies last, and there is a particular headband there which is very nice, and my daughter said that'd be good for my makeup tutorials advertising Arbonne. So there we are. If you have it, get it for that headband if nothing else. And the candle is with a coconut base, so it's really, really luxurious. And then we've got the Starlight Glow palette, which, as you remember, that was in the festive collection a couple of years ago, which means that Arbonne listen when back by demand, that's for sure. Has anyone ordered it already?
Me.
Good. And then the soap for men, the charcoal soap bar, which if you haven't tried it from the Christmas set, which I'm sure you have, is really nice. Then my partner, but he really loves this, and I hadn't actually appreciated the ingredients of it until now, being the charcoal powder derived from bamboo, the spicy turmeric, and the aloe vera juice. And somebody said to me, is it black? Well, it looks black, but is it black on your body and your face? Because they wanted to recommend it to somebody else. I said, well, I actually don't know, but this was a while ago. And then Bert started using it. I was like, oh, no, it's normal. It's normal. So it's very masculine. It smells divine to me. And so it is one of those good add-on items, So bear it in mind when you're upselling. And we all like upselling, don't we? Mm. So this is the main play for March, isn't it? So massive excitement for the RE9 rollback. So this was such a sensational success last year that they have brought it back, and they've brought it back for this month only in sort of October, November, December, January, in terms of people will have run out of their RE9 from the role play, rewinds last year. And so it's an excellent time to go back to everyone and saying we've got the price reduced again. I put the slide up so you can see in all different countries.
Yeah.
Again, that's the thing, not having access early of what your pricing is. So the QV is 266, which is really important, as I'll show you later. So I know Sam sold a phenomenal about, how many was it last time that you sold, Sam?
15.
15. I was thinking it was about, I knew it had a 5 in it. Did anyone top 15 on the call? You can unmute yourself. Oh, well, there we are. There's a target to explode then, isn't it? 15 plus. I know Sam said on a group it's 25 this month. So up and away, everyone, because this can really make a difference to your business, plus your ICs. We have Pancake Day, which is on Tuesday, 5th of March. Now, I say that because if you know any Brits, they're going to love their pancakes. And so you can home in on that we do have Pancake Day here. So any Pats over there, then they're going to want to have their pancakes. So get the healthy pancake recipes from the source. I didn't put all the info on here because you can find it yourself. And use the Arbonne hashtags as well. Now, all of the sets, the RE9, ASVP, the meal replacement and the protein powder, ASVP, and the makeup set, they're all the consultant price of our price is 170 QV. So they're all dropped to that 170 so that anyone that signs up with us in the UK, because we have the cooling off period, all the prices are level, but it's your PC commission. So if you've just started and you want your right now money, each set has, whoops, go back. These Macs are very sensitive. Oh dear, there we go. Oh dear, Gayle's having a moment. Yeah, so each set has a particular commission. And as you can see, 44.85, 41.70. So if you want your right now money, that's where you're going to get your right now money, yeah, and extra money when you are an established consultant as well, yes, because those are actually good value in terms of your PC commission. So always bear that in mind with the sets. And then it also gives people more products to use and engage with, and then you're going to get more regular buys from it. So whenever you're building your business, you're always looking long-term for the upsale and the continuous sale, yeah, because that is the way to have a strong foundation in your business. I won't go to that. So you've seen the GTC speakers, they still happen to be on there, and ERVP Dana Collins. So that will be sensational hearing from her. She is such a visionary, really is. And from her retail background, corporate background, and the way she's developed, she's number 5 in the global. Somebody's got their mic off and I can hear you eating. Just double check. So in the global income, she's number 5, which is amazing. And we had Rachel Hollis in the UK, so you don't want to miss her. Talk about energy and bouncing around and getting down to the ground with everyone. If you haven't read her books, then go online and get your audibles or get your books, so you're prepared, because it's only a couple of months away now. Who is on track with Punta Cana? Oh no, you're going to Fiji. Yeah, who's on track with Fiji then? Is anyone on track with Fiji? Well, there's still time to pull it round. You've got till May. So who knows with the RE9 rollback and getting your new district managers, 3 district managers and your 85,000 QV and you're off to Fiji. What an incredible trip that will be. Right. So we had a new district manager in qualification, Sharon Murphy. Massive congratulations. I don't know who the sponsor is. Who's the sponsor, Aminah?
Naz.
Now.
Ah, there we are then. So congratulations to Sharon. I don't know.
She was trying to get online, so I'm not sure whether she's online or not.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
really?
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Well done, Sharon.
Thank you.
Well done.
Massive congratulations. So this month is close month, isn't it? Definitely close month. And then we had 3 district manager bonus achievers, which happened to be
Go girls. Brilliant.
yeah, all the areas in is Nick in is New Zealand, isn't it?
Yeah.
So everyone in New Zealand as an area did their DM bonus. That's interesting, isn't it?
Fantastic.
So that's absolutely amazing. Massive congratulations to you with your 5,000 QVs and your 5 sign-ups of 150 PQV or more. And the DM bonus is always the heart of our business because that's where the growth of our business is. So big congratulations on that. Right. I am going to stop the screen share. And I don't have slides for training, but I'm going to start my training and then Lindsay and Aminah. And I'm going to be talking about starting the month strong. And the topic of the title that I said with Sam is, if you do what's hard, life will be easy. And if you do what's easy, life will be hard. So when you live your life like that, then everything will come into play and you will take your business that bit further, because when you do the hard stuff, that will lead to an easier life. And if you only do the easy stuff, that will lead to the same life, basically. And starting your month strong is so important. I mean, we're the 3rd today. So the first was 2 days ago, wasn't it? So the first was 2 days ago. And have you actually started your month? Well, that is the question. Have you actually started your month? Because it was on a Friday, and then it's the weekend. And then for many of you, I'm going to guess if you've got another job, your Arbor month will start on Tuesday, quite possibly. You don't need to answer that, but I think it's fair to say that in that mindset, that's because Arbonne hasn't become your priority yet. So you've kind of started the first of the month on Friday, then it's the weekend, then you go into your job on Monday, and then, oh, let's have a think about Arbonne, and it's Tuesday. So that's nearly a week, first week of the month already gone, isn't it? So if that's already gone, then you've already lost those 5 days. But when you make Arbonne your priority, it will become your primary income. That is the difference. Yeah. So when you switch your mind to make Arbonne your priority, it will become your primary income and it won't be this sidekick thing that you have. Because for me, apart from the dates of the 1st and the 30th or the 31st or the 28th of February, there is no beginning and end in my month. And I look at it as the days are continuous. They just all roll into one to me, apart from there is the beginning and the end in the terms of the calendar month. In other words, I don't waste that first week of the month. I don't waste that first week of the month. I start it straight away because it's rolling, continuously rolling from the previous month. So I don't look at it as putting the brakes on and then starting again. And then that last week of the month, sin of all sins, don't wait because it's end of month and you think, oh, well, I've done my building blocks. I'll keep the QVs for the next month and I'll put them into next month. That is the cardinal sin, number one. I mean, that is a complete, oh my goodness. In terms of the last week of the month, it's just like hang yourself, because what you've done is from that mindset, that point of view, you've absolutely cut your business at the legs. You've stalled yourself, you've stalled your mind, and then you've completely on the back foot. And that's that analogy of foot on the accelerator, foot on the brake. You're not going to get anywhere with that mindset and that attitude, basically. Because if you think, oh, well, I've done, so I'll just wait, or I'll sign up next month, because then they've got a whole month to go into DM qualification or to do DM in 1 month. It doesn't work that way at all, because you've stalled your business and you've held that IC back. And when somebody's ready to join, their energy is so high because they've made that decision. And it's not up to us to say, well, no, wait till next month because you will have a full month. That's just rubbish, because when people start, they start. That's when their energy is high and they're going to be telling everyone, oh my goodness, I've started this incredible new business. I can't wait to share it with you. You've got to find out more. I want you to hop on this Zoom with my mentor, with my business partner to hear all about it. And you're going to get those QVs in straight away. And that means that they will complete the following month. That's it. Yes? So that is starting your business in that first week. That means that your business is consistently rolling. Yeah? So you've got a continuous business. You don't take your foot off the gas and you don't have to suddenly put it on the accelerator again. And often when I have a conversation with Sam, she says that over there, or New Zealand, I don't know about Australia, you can correct me if it's different, but it's a lastminute.com, which I can't do in my vocabulary. It just freaks me out. It just totally freaks me out. My Virgo edges go completely crazy because I can't do lastminute.com. And again, for me, that's because it's a habit. That is because it is a habit that people have just made themselves last minute. And so that has become their habit. That's become their mindset. So it's up to you guys, if that is the culture there, to change it. Literally. Like we in the UK had to, all those years ago when we started, 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, that we had to change people's perception of network marketing back then. Because now it's more open, but we had to change people's perception. So that was their perception we have to change. Now you have to change people's habits, yeah, which you can actually do. So you can change their habits, so you can break them as well, because it's up to us to have that massive sense of urgency. So when you've got that massive sense of urgency of just carry on with your month, that no matter what attitude that to your success and your business, that is going to show up and people will change. They will change their minds because you are changing it and you have got that sense of urgency with this business to get started when you're doing your one-to-ones and why it's important to get started and get your PC orders in. And that also boils down to your daily method of operation, which is your daily messages. So whether you're somebody that's sending 3, 5 or 10, you know yourself how many messages you're sending a day, with building our social media relationships. And then asking people if they're opening, messaging them and asking them if they are open to hearing about a second income stream opportunity or additional income opportunity. You find which language works for you, or additional business, depending on who you're prospecting. You choose your language. Or if there's somebody that's in fitness and health and wellness, ask them if they're already a brand ambassador with a particular company. Because then, are they affiliated with a brand? Are they affiliated a brand with the clothing, or are they affiliated with a brand for the nutrition? Or if it's a makeup artist, are they affiliated with a brand? That, is it one particular brand, or can they have several different brands? Ask them, are you open? Are you affiliated? And then obviously follow-ups. So many people don't follow up. It's ridiculous. The amount of percentage of people that don't actually follow up when you've made a conversation, when you've given a curiosity bag out, when you've done your one-to-one, you leave it too long. You leave it 7 days as opposed to 48 hours. You never follow up in 24 hours, but 48 hours is your follow-up time. And then another 48 hours, and so on. And then you've got your week's follow-up when they haven't responded. And then you've got your 10 days follow-up. And then you've got your month's follow-up. And so you keep your notes so that you know where your follow-ups are coming in. So that's your daily method. And then obviously you're booking your one-to-ones and your events. And then your personal development. And that's all in your DMO, your daily method of operation. And when you're doing that consistency, you will have a full calendar, and that is the crux of your success, having that full calendar, that full diary. Because when you're booking your events and you're always looking for the consultant in the room, that is where you're going to get your sponsoring as well, booking those one-to-ones. And so booking the one-to-ones is going to lead in that continuous activity, because when you're launching somebody, you're going to have that continuous activity. So it means, so that means that showing up with the business and literally changing the mindset of people. When you're doing that continuously, your business will grow. And, that is the law. It will grow. At the time, nobody can say, because it's the different people that you're talking to, and that grows when you grow. And I always say sponsor up and get sweaty palms and a bit of a lump in your throat, because that is the way your business will grow, because it will push you to grow. And now we've got the RE9 rollback. That's 266 QVs. So you're going to be calling and messaging your wholesale ICs, people that have started business, quit a business, but they're still using the product. So you're going to be calling your PCs for that. But if you can also ask them to host an event as well, then there's that chance of finding a new IC. If you're saying, well, I don't know who to talk to, then use the people that you already have that love Arbonne to open up a new market for you, to get into other networks. And when you're doing this consistently, as I said, you've already started your month. Now, have you already planned your month? Because we are the 3rd. Have you already planned your month? Have you already set your events for this month? Have you already called people? Have you already got it in the diary? Have you messaged them? Have you planned your QVs? Have you done your month planning? Because again, if you don't start till Tuesday, by the time people can then look in their diaries and get back to you, you've wasted 2 weeks, practically over 2 weeks, because people are then busy, and you need to be on it straight away, because then you will have something booked for this coming week already. That's the difference, starting your month strong. And then tracking your numbers. So if you want to DM complete in 1 month, or this month, that's 6,000 QVs. And if you're going to break it down, so if you break it down even to 5 days, that's 300 QVs a day. So say for 20 days of the month, that's 300 QVs a day. That's your 1,500 for the week. Now, if you've got an RE9 rollback of 266 QVs, you've only got a little add-on product, haven't you? And that's your 300 QV for one. So set your target of 20 of those, 25 as Sam said, and you have more than smashed your DM complete, and obviously your district manager bonus if you're already a district manager. So there is every opportunity to be running with this month. And then, some of you could go into area qual with your team. Think about the energy in this, from absolutely maximizing your business from the first day of the month. The energy of this is literally going to be sweeping through if you're all swimming in the same direction and doing the same thing. Yeah. And so if you've already broken it down and you know what you want to do, then it's going to happen. Absolutely, it's going to happen. So DM complete, DM bonus, area quals when everyone's swimming in the same direction, absolutely going head to head and utilizing this promotion. And as I said, it really is do what's hard, because if that brings a lump in your throat, you've just got to do it and it will happen. And then literally life will be easy, because that's what every RVP and NVP and area manager has done. I thought I'd survive. That is literally the difference to the success in your business. So thank you everyone for listening to me. And I'm going to pass over to Lindsay to continue.
Thank you so much, Gayle. And I'm sorry to hear that you've got a tickly cough. I hope that goes very, very soon, because that will be getting in the way of your daily discipline. So good evening, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Lindsay and Bryan, and I'm an independent consultant and regional vice president with this incredible company. So I'm going to carry on from Gayle's awesome training just to really set you up to win this month. And as Gayle said, your month should have already started because it's the 3rd already. So hands up if you follow Chris Weilart on Instagram. Anybody follow Chris Weilart? Okay, if you don't, you should. He's amazing to follow on Instagram. He is the partnership with Emmy Weilart. They are 4 wide national vice presidents, and they are absolutely phenomenal.
And he posted this earlier on this week, and I put a little Facebook Live out onto my team page about this already, but it just was the most amazing post, and something really dropped with me, and I wanted to share it with the team. He posted this: if you want to be taken seriously, be consistent. Okay, it was like, okay, I'm going to show you. So actually it was like a, he didn't write it, it was like a thingy. Anyway, and then underneath he wrote, that's it, become true gold, not gold plated. People who are pure gold seek to be refined in the fire. Those gold plated have a facade of gold but do not wish to be tested. Stop going into qualification only. Be consistent and crush the new level. You are better. Be true. Be true gold. Much love, Chris. So I just felt that was so poignant in terms of me training a little bit now on consistency. I'm just going to pull my notes up, because I do feel sometimes that, people go into qual, often DM qual, and then they don't complete. And it's because the consistency isn't there in order to complete. And you have people sort of popping into DM qual, out of DM qual, into DM qual, out of DM qual. So if you make that decision to be consistent, and as to quote Nikki Turner on my team, and throw in some urgency and also utter conviction that you're going to complete, no doubts, no matter what, and boom, you are going to complete that level. But it takes consistency. So be honest with yourself, do a bit of an audit of your business. Are you consistent? Because consistency means doing something every day, your daily method of operation, and that includes your personal development as well as your income producing activity. Now, if somebody said to me, what do you think is the key word for being successful in Arbonne? I would say consistency. And I've trained on this before, but actually, if you don't have discipline, you won't be consistent. So in order to be consistent, you need to discipline yourself. Now, discipline is an interesting word. And if you really study discipline and what that actually is, it's about doing the thing, even if you don't feel like doing it, basically. So what I want to say to you all is that it's not about feeling, okay? If we wait until we feel like doing something, it's never going to happen. So discipline is doing the thing, whether you feel like it or not. So you can't have consistency without discipline, because you're not always going to feel like sending out your messages. Okay, you're not always going to feel like doing that. In the same way that we also sometimes don't feel like going to the gym first thing in the morning. Okay, so for me, I'm not as disciplined as Gayle. I'm going to hold my hands up right there. She's my discipline idol. But she really inspires me to improve on my discipline. But I do go to CrossFit 4 mornings a week, and sometimes I don't feel like it. But in that moment where I'm lying there in bed and I'm thinking, I might not go today, and I try and justify why I might not go, because I could go tomorrow, or maybe I'll do this instead. We're justifying the reasons why we're suddenly deciding not to do something often, or making excuses. In that moment, I make the decision to get my ass out of bed and go, because it's the slight edge. Okay, so for those of you who haven't read The Slight Edge, you do need to read that book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, because the slight edge is about choosing the decision that is going to serve you most. So when you're in that moment and you're sort of like, you could easily not do the thing that you know you need to do to grow your business, just think about the slight edge and think, I need to make the decision now. I need to make the choice that is going to serve me and my business. Okay, because every day that you waste is taking you a step further away from your goal. Every day that you actually make the slight edge decision to do the thing that you need to do is going to bring you closer to your goal. So with consistency is about doing the do every single day for 3 months, obviously, and beyond, but just for this training, I want to focus on being consistent for 3 months, because it takes 3 months of consistent personal development, your miracle morning, whatever it is that you do to have your personal development nailed, and your income producing activity, 3 months of that every day for the QV to show up in your business. And the QV shows up when you grow your team. Okay, your QV is going to stay in the same place if you don't sponsor people, because QV follows sponsoring. So in terms of that, I just want to talk a little bit about month end, because, you know, Gayle has explained to you that to have a great month end, you have to have a great month start. Okay, it's really, really important. So my team, particularly the Antipodeans, my Kiwi team and my Aussie team, do crush, and I'm going to so use that word now, I love it, Chris Weilart. They really crush their month end. Okay, they are brilliant at it. And what's interesting about that is you do kind of think, well, what would happen if we had a month end mid-month? Okay, so Debbie Neal coaches out to her team 3 month ends. She has a month end mid-month. She has a month end 1 week out before month end, and she has a month end. Okay, you could also maybe throw one in there a couple of days before the end of the month. Why not? Somebody needs to mute. Not sure who it is. So I would really encourage doing that. And as a result of, you know, hearing that training from Debbie recently, my Aussie team and my Kiwi team are both going to, you know, really go for that this month. And the reason why I mention that is Holly's team, so Holly's in area manager qualification. She's on the call. She's in Adelaide. They were going for area completion last month, and it didn't quite happen. But I truly believe it would have happened if every single person on the team had started their month sooner and, you know, got into the kind of crazy activity they were getting into towards the end of the month, mid-month, and just before, you know, month end. But it is about starting your month on the first of the month as well, because you can complete district as a team of one, but you cannot complete area as a team of one. And it takes all of you to get behind that goal and be consistent from the beginning of the month. And I really encourage you to get behind people when they're going for titles, because at some point it's going to be you going for area or going for region. And when you're in that place, you're going to want your team behind you. But the thing is, guys, the team that are getting behind you, if they're going for it for that, you know, ultra team goal, they're also going to end up with a better month end themselves. They'll end up completing district maybe, or getting a bonus, or, you know, DM bonus, wherever you are in your business. So really get behind your team and make a commitment to work your business from the first of the month. So what Holly and her team do, they get together and they have a Zoom call like we're doing now for month end. And they also, you know, whoever's physically around, there's actually usually about six or seven of them at Holly's house, and then anyone else can jump onto Zoom. So it doesn't matter if your team live close to you or whether they're all over the place. Certainly my team are all over the world. You can actually have a month end Zoom call like this, or get together if you live closely, because that energy, when you all get together, it's amazing what you can achieve. And Holly's team, when they went into qual the first time, they did 5,000 QV on the last day of the month as a collaboration, combined effort, which is awesome, right? And it's because they got together. Because when you get together, you become more brave in the things that you're willing to do and the messages you send out and the phone calls that you have. So I would really encourage you to do that, but don't just do it on the last day of the month. Do it in the middle of the month and do it a week before month end. Nikki Turner is another great example. So Nikki, there she is. So Nikki in Auckland, she's my area manager in Auckland. She does her DM bonus every single month without fail. And I want to talk to you about this because Gayle's touched on it. For Nikki, it's non-negotiable. It's just non-negotiable. If she has to do it on her own, she will, and she does, because Nikki for a long time didn't have a team and she was still crushing that DM bonus. And Nikki has done 3,000 QV in a day before on month end. But why was she able to do that? With Holly, it's a bit different. You know, they had a team, there's a whole bunch of them there, but Nikki was able to do it on her own. That's because that was the compound of her activity from day one of the month. You can't just suddenly magic 3,000 QV on the last day of the month. And if you need 3,000 QV on the last day of the month and you're really in that, you know, stressful state of how am I going to get this? How am I going to get this? It's because you probably haven't done the activity you need to do leading up to that last day of the month. Whereas because Nikki is working her business consistently, I know that Nikki can bring that kind of volume in by the end of the month because she's collecting on the activity that she's done from the beginning of the month. Okay, so please take on board what Gayle said about starting your month from the start. So sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm doing the activity, you know, but the QV is not showing up, I'm not sponsoring, and it will just be that you haven't been consistent for long enough. And sometimes we can get results straight away, but not always. So I urge you to detach from the outcome. Seriously, guys, just detach from the outcome. Don't make it about you. Just focus on the process. Trust the process. And your focus should be about becoming a pro of those 7 skills to being a network marketing professional. Okay. The other thing is AIT. I'm tracking for AIT right now. So the final thing I want to close on is accountability. So the other thing is I'd really encourage you to be accountable with someone. It's really good to be accountable to someone who's the next level up from you, okay, of the level that you want to get to, or somebody at your level who you know is, you know, has got the grit and is really determined to go to that next level. Don't be accountable to someone who's just moaning and making excuses and justifying why they're not doing activity and have a nice little vent pity party about where your business isn't. Be accountable with someone who you know is really, you know, doing the do. So because I want to earn AIT, having earned it last year, I'm determined to earn it every year from now on. It is amazing, guys. You've got to go for it. I'm not where I was this time last year to earn that trip. I'd already done level 2 this time last year. I'm not far off level 2 now, but I'd already done it last year. So I'm accountable with a girl called Emily Swaffield at the moment, who I was in Jamaica with last year. And we've set up an accountability group. And the reason I say this is because if you're someone like Gayle, who is very self-motivated and has got amazing discipline, then you can probably afford to be accountable to yourself. But if you don't have great self-discipline, be accountable with someone else. So Emily and I are accountable, and we're accountable to send 10 messages before 2. So it's 10 before 2, and an hour of reading a day, because I fundamentally believe that your reading gives you fuel and power to do your messages, because you've got to have your verbiage and your belief on point to get into that activity. So I've had a conviction to really increase my reading. So it's an hour a day of reading and 10 messages a day. Now, I'm not saying it has to be that for you. That's just what it is for me right now to smash AIT, and Emily's the same. And I'm going to explain to you the power of this accountability group. So on Friday, this was my day. I got up, I went to CrossFit. I came back, sorted the dog out. I had to rush straight out to drive across to the other side of town, which was about an hour's drive, to go and visit somebody on my team who's just had a major operation, take flowers and take her out to lunch. Came back, called in at my parents' on the way back, came home, and I literally had an hour to turn myself around, get ready to go out and meet a really good friend of mine who I haven't seen forever for dinner in the evening. By this point, when I got back, it was 10 o'clock and I had not done my reading and I had not done my messages. But I couldn't bear messaging Emily to go, epic fail, haven't done my messages, haven't done my reading, even though it was 10 o'clock at night. So I was like, ah! So I came upstairs and I got on my computer and I sent out my 10 messages, and then I got into bed and fell asleep with my book. But if I had not been accountable to Emily, there's no way I would have come in and sent 10 messages at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, having had a really busy day, because I did not want to do it, trust me. But I did it because I was accountable. Do you see the difference? Okay. I'd have just said, well, I'll just do 20 tomorrow. Probably 20 wouldn't have happened tomorrow. Okay. So I will finish by saying, guys, do the thing that you said you were going to do, whatever promise you've made to yourself about what you're going to commit to. And it could just be 2 messages a day, and that's fine as long as you do it every day. I promise you, doing that every day is so much more powerful than having a blitz and then doing nothing for 2 weeks. If you stop, it's never going to happen. You have to be consistent. If you're not doing consistent activity, start with 1 message a day and nail that every day for a month, and then increase it. Once it feels normal and you'll sit there, you'll feel, if you do that for a while, oh, I can so easily do more than that. And then you can just start to increase your number. Okay, so I really encourage you to be accountable to somebody if you're not doing the activity yourself, and just go for it, because March is going to be epic. With the RE9 Rewind on the table, it's always a big month because it's 31 days after a short month of 21 days going into the run for GTC. So make a decision that you're going to be that person that beats Samantha's record of 15 RE9 rewind sets. And, keep the promise you've made to yourself, because when you follow through on the thing that you say you're going to do, guys, your esteem, it boosts. You feel amazing. It's when you don't do the thing that you say you're going to do, your esteem actually takes a hit, and it's really hard to recover from that continually. So just do the thing, discipline yourself to do the thing that you need to do, even when you don't feel like it, and your business will be amazing. Thank you.
I thank you so much, Lindsay. It's a massively valuable information there for all of us. So my name is Aminah Gianfrancesco. For those of you I haven't yet met, I'm a Regional Vice President with Arbonne, an independent consultant. And it's really exciting sitting here because I was there in New Zealand for the launch of New Zealand. And there was Sam Fielding, Naz Taylor and myself. And to see a screen full of beautiful faces is really, really fantastic. So welcome and congratulations for being in the best place to be. Now, my background is in corporate. So what I'm going to talk to you about today has very much been a part of my life. And I'm going to talk to you about closing. And it's quite interesting because a lot of people think that closing starts or at the end, right? When you have finished saying what it is you want to say, finished doing what it is they need to do or you need to do. And then people think, right, now I need to close. But I'm going to twist that completely around and say to you, we call it the ABC of closing, right? Always be closing. It's something that you do throughout the entire sales cycle, and it starts at the very, very beginning. Because you want to gauge someone's readiness, you want to gauge someone's understanding, and you need to gauge someone's commitment. So you may start your sales cycle saying something like, would you be open to hearing about a great income opportunity? That is a closing question, right? You're gauging their readiness. If I could show you a way to make more money or more time, is that something you'd be open to hearing about? That's a closing question, right? Would you be open to trialing some products so I can show you how to slow down the signs of aging and earn an income? Can you see how this might work for you? Does that resonate with you? Could you see how this might help your situation? So these types of sentences you want to be putting in consistently, and it links with the psychology of selling. The more somebody hears themselves say yes, the more their subconscious brain is going to accept the situation, because it's the subconscious brain that's normally the part of the brain that's holding them back. So if they hear the conscious brain go, yes, yes, and lots of nodding, lots of acceptance is going on, it links really well with the psychology of selling. So think about your closing sentences from the very beginning of starting your conversations. Now, if I've presented the business and they've tried the products, one of my favorite closing questions to gauge their readiness to start the business is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're ready to start right now, where would you say you are? Well, obviously, if they say a 10, we're going to go, great, let's get signed up right now, right? And you don't waste another second, you just do it. So if it's a 2, which is pretty low, or mid-range, you're going to say, okay, so what needs to happen to get you to a higher number? What informational evidence do you need to see? And you schedule the next exposure and you close on that. For example, well, I need to try the product. It sounds great to try the product. Great, okay, here's the product, because I'm sure you'll have it with you. And you book up a follow-up time and a follow-up date, and you check in on them. So you might have left it with them for 2 days, picking it up on the 3rd. But on the first day, you're going to check in with them. They've actually started using it, right? And then check in the next day. How are they getting on with it? Because you want to know that they're using it, number one. You don't want to waste 3 days. You want to know how they're getting on in case they're using too much eye cream, right? Or putting it too close to their eye. You want to make sure they're using it properly. So check in. they may say, well, I need to understand the compensation plan. So set a time aside to go through it and review it with them. I need to talk to my partner. This is a favourite one. Need to talk to my partner. Don't leave them to talk to their partner, please, right? Set up a joint meeting so you can give the presentation and set up a time and a date. So you're constantly setting up the next exposure, the time, the date, and that's your way of closing throughout the sales cycle. So whatever it is, never finish one exposure without setting up the next one. Like never, right? If you do, you'll end up walking around with a leaky bucket and there's another one that's just fallen through the hole and it's game over, right? Never leave one exposure without setting up the next exposure. Because if you don't set up the next exposure and you don't agree the next action and you suddenly call them out of the blue and then you've left 10 messages, you're going to start feeling like a bothersome stalker, right? And that's when you're going to start feeling uncomfortable working your business because you're going to feel like you're pestering people. So a really simple way to get rid of that, always set up a time and date, get their permission, set up the next exposure. Because when you've got their permission, you're following up as a network marketing professional would. You're following up like any professional would. And a network marketing professional will never finish an exposure without setting up the next exposure. When you're being professional, you're being in control. So they're my top tips for closing. And, making sure that throughout the sales process, you are consistently following up, setting up, and closing. Thank you.
Fabulous. Love it. Absolutely amazing. Well, I would say that you've had everything you need to know about building a rub-on business in one full sweep there. You've had starting your month and carrying on your month, getting your discipline and closing it. There is nothing else to know, really. So I would expect to see lots of qualifications for the next level, lots of completes this month, lots of DM bonuses, lots of IC cash bonuses. And hi, Mariella from Ireland there joined us as well. And so lots of cash bonuses on the table for this month to be taken away with the rollback. Lots of new ICs coming in because of the rollback as well, and because you are planning one-to-ones, planning events to get into the new networks, but doing it from now because otherwise it seriously isn't going to happen and you're just going to waste it, and that would just be so sad. It really would. So you really have to make the most of it from now to go for it. Is there anything else from you guys that you want to ask, talk about, that you've got that you can share with us that we don't know about for New Zealand, Australia?
I just remind people as well, Gayle, that this really is your last month to go qual and complete if you want to do it before Vegas. So for those of you going to GTC, if you're going for a level, then you need to be in qual this month and complete next month. So just bear that in mind. And if you're feeling like, my goal's too big, like if you're going for region, before Vegas and you feel like you can't do the 40,000 this month, you still need to set a goal. So okay, I might not do that, but maybe I will actually be bonusing as an area and going into qual by the time I go to Vegas. So, don't just sort of step back and just think, oh, I haven't got time. Set a goal, have a goal, okay? But also have a plan, like Gayle said, because if you haven't got a plan, you won't smash the goal. So if you've got a goal, make sure you've got a plan as well. And break it down weekly, guys. Don't, just break it down weekly. Don't just think it's going to happen without planning it. Okay.
So there has been an update from New Zealand, specifically in that they now have Digestion Plus.
Yeah.
So that's hugely exciting and a real great mix. I know Naz has been very excited about this. She's been waiting for it for a long time. So get onto the source, read up about your information. Because Digestion Plus is one very, very powerful part of our nutrition package.
Well, this is fantastic because you've got the 30 days to healthy living, and that's been going amazingly. So this is an add-on product, isn't it? So it was an add-on monthly product for the whole family, because it's a daily. So every box is 30 days. And obviously what I tend to do is with customers that are only purchasing that type of product is I get them to stock up so that they can then get their reward vouchers and then redeem their reward vouchers and stock up again. So that's the way to do it, because naturally you want to. I'm always on about serving your customers because I expect good service. And if somebody gives me a call and they want to give me service, they want to do something for me, they want to give me the best deal, they've got my money. So that's the way I treat my album business, like I want to be treated myself. So always think of that. How do I want to be treated? What would make me spend my money? And that would make me spend my money, and it does. So do it. You've got a massive, massive reason to be calling everyone now that you've got the rollback and Digestion Plus. And that's your 300 QBs a day, isn't it, that I was talking about? Digestion Plus on top of that's your extra product. Boom, it's done. And as Lindsay's going to say, you're going to crush it. AK Chris Weiler. Fantastic. Okay, so if there's nothing else anyone wants to add.
Go make this your biggest month ever.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Sam, anything?
No, not from me, thank you. But I would like to say from all of us here in New Zealand, thank you so much to yourself, to Lindsay and to Aminah for getting up so early in the morning to be with us. We really do appreciate it. It's a lot easier when our time difference is only 11 hours, but at the moment it's 13. So we really appreciate you guys getting out of bed so early to help us out.
You're most welcome.
You're very welcome. And good luck tomorrow with your training tomorrow night as well.
Thank you.
All right then. Have a good rest of evening and get all those messages in your head and all those people and just do it.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.